Hey guys, it's Dylan again from MRT, and today we are getting stuck back into the nutrition, and we're going through the actual nutrition spreadsheet and laying out your plan. Now, this is the website, guys, and this is what you're going to see to begin with when you log on. And what I want to show you, actually watching this video here, without it's not going to have my head on it, but if you scroll down a little bit further, you'll see down here a little download. Um, Little buttons, and you want to click here, and if you click this one, I've already clicked it so I'm not going to click it again, you will download the spreadsheet. Okay guys, so this is what you'll see once you open it, and I'm going to show you through it quickly. So what we have down the bottom here, we got 4 different tabs. So we've got our references, which is ref, week 1, and our template, and basically I've already entered in a bit of a sample day there for you guys, and we can sort of use that as an example of how to fill it out. But the first place I want you to start with is the macros. So we'll click over here, and you'll see there's 3 different calculators. So there's one for fat loss, one for body maintenance, and one for muscle gain. Now for some of you guys, you'll be wanting to lose some body fat, so this is where you'll be entering in your stuff. For a couple of you as well, might just want to be focusing more on staying at the same weight, building some lean muscle, but not putting on a heap of body fat. This is where the body weight maintenance calculator will come in, and then if you're trying to just stack it on, you want to be hitting up the muscle gain calculator. All right, now it's pretty straightforward, and we've entered in all of the formulas for you already. So all you have to do is literally enter your body weight. So I'm just going to use that same example: 70 kilogram guy or girl, doesn't matter, wanting to lose body fat, and you can see it says proteins, fats, and carbs on the side here. It tells you exactly how many calories you're going to be eating per day, and it's also got there, how many grams to eat for the day. All right, then we go. So this is training day. This is the first one. The next one's non-training day. So non-training days, as we sort of figured out, and I sort of explained to you guys in the last video, the video above this video, we got when we're not actually training, we don't need to be fueling our bodies the same way, and we're actually going to be eating a little bit less, and that little bit less is going to be coming from eating less carbohydrates. So eating about 1,400 calories a day, which isn't a lot, and the things that stay the same: protein stays the same, fat stays the same. We are manipulating our carbohydrate intake. So it's pretty much, whoops, I don't know what I've done there. There we go. Don't press around too much, guys, because you will stuff up the formulas. So as you can see, though, it's pretty much 100 grams off, or a little bit less, but almost halved the amount of carbs. And then we got refeed days, and we sort of spoke about them briefly as well. But refeed days, it's important to understand that you have to be sticking to these to earn a refeed day. And it's basically, after a while, your body gets a set point, and when you are losing fat, it'll essentially stop. So refeed day is to help you get out of that phase and continue to burn fat. You can see again, proteins and fats are the same. Carbohydrates are a little bit higher. This is just to keep you in that fat burning state. All right, and you can see calories are quite high too. But you want to be having these, like we say, every 7 days, but you might even push that out to every 2 weeks. It's all dependent on how close you're hitting these other 2 targets here. All right. Now the same goes if you're wanting to stay the same weight. Still, we have like if you wanted to stay the same weight, we still have a training day, non-training day, because believe it or not, you want to be maintaining your body weight, but again, you're going to be using less energy when you're not exercising, so we don't need to eat as much carbohydrates. Otherwise, we're not going to be maintaining body weight, we're going to be putting on body weight. All right, and we've still got refeed days in there as well, and that's basically like, you sort of play that by ear again. 7 days, 10 days, 14 days. But chances are you're not really going to need one. It's just going to sort of help you push things along. They are quite useful because you will be setting yourself into a calorie baseline here, bit of a deficit here. So over time, you can sort of bump it up a little bit more if you feel like you are sort of plateauing and not burning body fat. But it's important to understand with the body weight maintenance, you're going to be staying the same body weight. You are going to be burning a bit of body fat though. And the muscle gain calculator, a little bit more energy consumption. You can see I put my body weight in there, roughly my body weight, and you can see like I'm eating 400 grams of carbs a day, which is a shitload. And I'm not actually eating that. I'm not actually trying to gain muscle at the moment. But so as you can see though, guys, like this is basically it, and use it to calculate. Use it to figure out exactly what your goal is. If your goal is to lose fat, use the fat loss. If your goal is body weight maintenance, but you want to put on some muscle, still burn a little body fat, use the body weight maintenance. Muscle gain, pretty straightforward, guys. All right. Now let's jump over. Let's take these stats. I've already punched them in, but what you want to do is get these proteins, fats, and carbs statistics. So, and we want to punch them in. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. We want to punch them in down here, so down here in the green. So if we just jump back to our macros, we can see that the carbs goal per day is 179, fats is 61, and proteins 140. And I've pretty much just rounded it out. So 180, 140, and 60. And so that's your goals for the day. And as you can see directly above that, you've got these other numbers. And these are, so what we're going to do is actually copy these, paste that there, just into the next day. And I'll sort of build this out from here. Oops, what did I do? Alright, so these are our goals, and what you can see is in these columns here, if we ever enter, whatever we enter in this C, for instance, if I put 55 in and press enter, it'll calculate it all the way over here and calculate it there and compare it. So then we can already see, okay, I'm nearing my goal, and then I eat another 55 grams there, and then I eat another 55 grams there, and it calculates it for you guys. So all you need to do is put the foods in and it calculates it, and we'll just delete that for now. Alright, so it's pretty cool. So we'll take that back to 0. And that's pretty much what we've done up here. Like, we just copy and paste from the reference guide straight into the plan, put whatever you're eating in, calculates it, and shoots it over here. So then you know, okay, I still haven't eaten enough protein today. I still haven't eaten enough carbs. Eaten way too many fats. Tomorrow I'm going to know that I'm not going to eat that many fats. But the best thing about this, like the most useful way to use this tool is not to do it on the run, but to plan ahead. Now, maybe plan 3-4 days in advance exactly what you're going to eat, because planning when it comes to nutrition is the most important thing. I know for myself, if I and guys, especially if you're training at night, you probably have to get up early the next day to go to work. Like, let's face it, you're going to get home late. You're not going to want to be cooking food and preparing for the next day. So if you aren't already prepared days in advance, you're just not going to be able to hit these macros properly. And this is super important to get you guys the results that you actually want. So where do we get these foods from that I've got up here? So we're gonna build out a few meals here, and I'll just sort of show you. But basically, we just click straight over down the bottom to reference, and for breakfast, I'm gonna have, so pretty much whatever you want in here, you just copy and paste it over. So if you're gonna have 2 eggs, I just copy. Paste. Calculates, boom, shoots it up there. Okay, and along with that, I'm going to have, let's add in some carbohydrates somewhere. What we got? I'm going to have 50 grams of oats too. Alright. 50 grams of oats, 2 eggs, that's a pretty good breakfast. 30 grams of carbs, 20 grams of protein and a good amount of fats. Could even up that protein a little bit, and that, that's a pretty good start to the day. Now remember, with everything, the number one thing you want to keep an eye on when it comes back, we're going to be reverting back to our nutrition rules, which you can download a copy of right here, which has got our 8 rules in there. And one of them, number one, is protein in every meal. So if my goal of protein is 140, I want to be eating 30-ish grams per meal, 20 to 30-ish grams per meal, depending on how many meals a day. And as you can see, you don't have to eat 5-6 meals a day. You can eat 4 in there. So I eat that for breakfast. Let's see, I'm not going to eat morning tea today because I don't really like eat morning tea. I do actually, but that's just for the sake of this. And I'm going to have 100 grams of chicken with some avocados, 50 grams of avocado. It's morning tea. And as you can see, it's going to be my lunch. It's got carbs. It's got quite high protein, good amount of good fats in there as well. Because remember, I think rule number 2 is trying to split our carbs into 2 to 3 meals. So I'm going to have some carbs at breakfast. I'm going to have some carbs post-workout here. And I'm going to have carbs maybe in the mid-afternoon. I might have a piece of fruit. All right. And yeah, so that's basically how you start building out your food plans. Now, as you can see, there's so many other foods you can choose from which aren't already in here. We've put a little bit of fruits. These are like carbohydrate supplements. These are starchy carbs. All right, so we're gonna start. I'm gonna quickly show you guys, and as you can, fats, like there's so many more you can eat. Protein, like there's countless amounts of protein sources. So I'm going to show you, if you want to put something else in here, I'm going to show you how you can do it. Alright, so I'm going to click over here. I'm going to click on, so this is myfitnesspal.com, or you can use calorieking.com.au. and you know what, today I'm going to use Calorie King, because Calorie King's easy. You literally just type in any food and it'll give you the nutritional information on that food. So believe it or not, I'm going to get a little bit exotic here, and we're going to search for some duck, because I haven't put duck in there. Everyone loves duck. So as you can see, like it's got the nutritional information for everything. Duck eggs. You can buy pure duck fat. Should be pretty calorie dense. But we're going to go duck meat with skin. And 100 grams of duck meat is going to give us 19, this is with the skin, so the skin's quite fatty, 19.7 grams of protein. So what we do is just write it in poultry, duck, 19, and it pretty much is 20. This is 100 grams of duck as well, guys. Duck. And 26 grams of fat. We'll round it up. So, oops, it's 26 grams of fat. Alright, so now I'm just going to copy that. That's in my references for life now. And that is my dinner. Yeah, so just copy and paste that in there. Calculates, chucks it in there. 20 grams, 26 grams, quite high in fat. You can see all these meals are pretty high in fat, and I've pretty much topped out my fat intake already. Still got a lot more room for carbs and protein though. So, alright, so that's how. So if you want to add anything, I suggest using Calorie King. Makes things very easy to track. Like literally, you know, Nashi pear. I think that's how you spell Nashi pear. Yeah. Nashi. If you haven't had a Nashi pear, try it. They're fucking yum. And we're going to put a nashi pear in. Most pieces of fruit, they're pretty similar when it comes to, let's put a medium one in, so this is just one nashi pear. Pretty similar when it comes to carbohydrates, so chuck that in over in the references for fruits. Nashi pear, and you can pretty much see they're the same as same as a normal pear. Protein, yeah, 1, rounded up. 0 fats. That's a nashi pear, so that's what we're going to be having over here. Pretty random dinner, but that's going to be our dinner for today, a nashi pear and some duck. And you can see, like, yes, we're slowly building out our nutrition plan. Obviously, this isn't serious. I'm sure you could, you can fill it with a lot of different stuff, but this is sort of what I'm using for an example. Let's fill out our post-workout protein shake with again, you guys can search or add in your very own protein brand because everyone's slightly different. And I'm just going to copy and paste from there. Banana, I love having bananas post-workout because they have glucose and fructose, which are both 2 different types of sugars in them. And again, boom, 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 getting closer to our goals, building up the carbohydrates, building up the protein. And this is a training day, remember. But yeah, that's basically how you want to keep building out your food plan. So keep adding things in. For instance, morning tea. Like, this is a good little morning tea I like. It's a good little snack option. Yes, quite high in carbs, but the other thing is that it's also quite high in protein, and it's got some good fat sources in there too. So why don't we just copy and paste this one straight over into there. You can see we're getting closer and closer and closer. Fats are going to jump up slightly. It's really hard to keep your fats under control because all meat sources have some sort of fat source in it as well. Now for our dinner, we're going to add some more carbs in there. So as you can see, like, guys, if you follow the rules in the nutrition system, you can pretty much just sort of fit in whatever you want within reason into the food plan. So for dinner, we're going to have 250 grams of sweet potato, which isn't a lot. Like, a lot of people think, oh, it's heaps, but when you actually break it down, it's only 50 grams of carbs, which isn't a lot of carbohydrates. All right, so getting closer and closer. 150, you can probably add a little bit more protein. We're going to have afternoon tea as well, guys, and we're going to have afternoon tea. We're going to have some salmon. I'll put smoked salmon in there. I'll research some smoked salmon. The on-the-go special. Packaged salmon smoked. So like, it's super easy to do. Sort of just build it out as you go. So 100 grams will give us 23 grams of protein, no carbs, and 5 grams of fat if we round it up. So what was it? 23 and 23 and 5, and that was 0, and that was smoked salmon. So 100 grams of smoked salmon. Put it over here just because. Like, that's, we're getting a lot closer. Carbs are still a little bit low. It's not too bad, but I'd say, like, if you pulled out this day consistently, even though it's not spot on, that would be pretty damn good. Now, protein's 1 off, fats are 10 high, carbs are almost 30. Like, you could add a little bit more carbs in. For instance, just have a little bit more oats here, bang that up to 300 grams of sweet potato instead of 250. and you'd pretty much be there. But it's all about consistency. It's all about planning ahead. Now, one thing you won't see a lot of in here at the moment is that there's not a lot of salad options or vegetable options. So that's one thing that actually will be added by the time you guys get here. And it's going to be, so we've got sauces as well. It's going to be vegetable option right here. And that'll have all the different vegetables because believe it or not, some vegetables are higher in carbohydrates than you think. And so I'll just show you, for instance, the difference between broccoli like it's 3 grams of, there's no high in fiber, there's literally no carbs in it, and it's actually quite high in protein. Broccolini, completely different. 12 grams of carbohydrates, pretty damn high in protein as well. But as you can see, the difference between two, you'd say that it's pretty much the same vegetable, is quite different. And now, I don't think anyone's going to be going hard on the broccolini, but you never know. But that could actually potentially, here's one thing we didn't do as well. We'll compare 100 gram per 100 gram. So 3.8, 4.6. Yeah, so it's still super high in carbohydrates compared. So that's why we're going to be adding in a heap of vegetables down here for you guys to choose from. Because one of the things we do that is in our 8 rules is to eat something green in every meal. Alright guys, so that is basically it. That's our nutrition system. Actually, there's one more thing I want to show you. So, if you don't know how to use Microsoft Excel, because we're not just going to be eating for 1 week, we're going to be eating a new week every week. So we go down to our template. If you're going to be eating the same foods every week, you can actually just copy the week 1 over. We're just going to plant this right here. As you can see, it sort of spits it out a little bit differently. But to be honest, it's totally fine. Like when you put stuff in, it'll spit it out fine. The other thing you can do is just copy template to week 2. And then, nope, that didn't work. 1 sec. So what we can do, I just figured it out, is we can actually copy. So you right click, create a copy of that, and it creates an exact copy, and then we just drag that down, and we just want to rename that. We just want to rename that week 2. Alright, so week 1, week 2, and if you really wanted, you can actually just copy that one over if you're going to be eating the same thing over and over. Alright guys, that is the nutrition spreadsheet, the nutrition plan, and that is going to be super important for you guys to be hitting those, hitting those macros and getting those results that you actually want. So start building up some consistency, start making a plan. The other thing I want to show you also extremely quickly is on our welcome page. To click here, join our members only Facebook group. If you have any questions, shoot them in here, and then we can answer them. Take a screenshot, upload your spreadsheet, and we'll be answering questions on there. All right, guys, get stuck in, start reaping the rewards.